What's up, everyone? Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling. I'm Denise Salcedo, and today we are recapping a very special edition of AEW Dynamite, the September 29th show in Rochester, New York. And we kind of had a very interesting night. First and foremost, we have a brand new TNT champion in Sammy Guevara. And we also had a somewhat controversial promo with MJF that led to a lot of I won't say a lot of unhappy people, but some people on my timeline were sort of unhappy. So we will be talking about that today. Plus, on top of that, we had a really awesome opening match between Adam Cole and Jungle Boy. A lot of good stuff to get into. So we're going to go ahead and jump in and talk about the entire show in a very nice chronological format. For those of you guys who are here for the very first time, welcome. Thank you guys so much for coming. And we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Also, BTW, friendly reminder, this is a very interactive show, so make sure you guys share your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section, and I will be pulling those up as we go through the rest of the show. If you do want your comment to be read and you're like, Denise needs to read this, I really need her to read this, you are more than welcome to send in a super chat. If you do, I will definitely read it here. We got a lot going on in here, but right now everybody's just really happy that we have a brand new TNT champion in Sammy Guevara. I did not know for sure if they were going to go ahead and have the title change hands tonight. It made sense that they did, and I'm looking forward to his run as TNT champion. We'll get to that in a second, but let's actually kick things off with our opening match that we had here tonight, because we had Adam Cole versus Jungle Boy, and Adam Cole Jungle Boy is literally the match that I was most looking forward to heading into today's show. This was the match. This was like the reason that I was really, really looking forward to this show. And here's the thing about Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy is the guy that, he's definitely the future of AEW, but so is Adam Cole. So it's very interesting to kind of see them, mesh together in the ring. And Jungle Boy always has really good singles matches. His tag team matches, they're great and all. We already know that. But when he's highlighted as a singles competitor in singles matches, man, he always blows it out of the water. He's been given some really high profile matches like the one that he had with Kenny Omega. And so now to have this opportunity to have this match with Adam Cole, somebody who's coming into AEW right now with a lot of buzz, it was really, really cool to see. But we got a super chat from Mr. EMJ who says, the school shooter line isn't the worst I've heard, and I've been watching wrestling since I was 3, 1988. I dig it, honestly. We're going to get to that because I think a lot of people had different reactions. I will share my reaction to that, and also some of the reactions that I saw other people share. We will get into that once we get to the MJF segment, but thank you so much for sharing your thoughts here today on that. So Adam Cole, Jungle Boy. Let's get back into this one here. I'm trying to think. Okay, so at the top of this match, we saw Jungle Boy kind of get the best of Adam Cole. He went in there, was fiery, was really fast, doing a lot of cool stuff in there. And Adam Cole was a little frustrated by that. You kind of saw him sort of be taken aback by Jungle Boy and Jungle Boy's skill that he was bringing into this match. So you did sort of see frustration from Adam Cole. I like this. I like this a lot because Jungle Boy is still, even though people like him and people respect him and they want to see him do cool stuff, and we all know he's the future of AEW. In these types of matches, his competitor usually tends to see him as somebody who's still like a noob. So that's kind of what I got from Adam Cole here in the beginning, where he maybe wasn't expecting to sort of have Jungle Boy be the one that was getting the upper hand in this match. They exchanged several strikes back and forth. I really enjoyed that. Then once we got a shift in this match. We got to see Adam Cole get the upper hand in this match. And then it kind of starts to slow down a little bit. They do a little bit more groundwork. That's really fun. But then afterwards, we start to get back up again. We start to pick up the pace here. And this is what I really like, that they gave this match plenty of time here. So we saw a killer hurricanrana from Jungle Boy to Adam Cole from from the apron onto the outside. That was a really cool spot. Then we see suddenly right after that, after we get back into the ring, we see Adam Cole hit the Panama Sunrise. He goes for the pin here, and I legitimately thought for a second that it was going to be over there, but it wasn't. Jungle Boy got his arm up and they kept the match going. Then after this, we see Jungle Boy get the snare trap on Adam Cole. And this is really great because he has it locked in right in the center of the ring. So I started to think, okay, there's no way that they're going to have Adam Cole tap out here. Like, it's just not going to happen. It doesn't happen. Adam Cole gets out of it. And then afterwards, once he gets out of this, he ends up hitting him with a low blow. Obviously, the referee doesn't see. He hits him, he kicks him in the head, and Adam Cole wins. So I do got to say, I loved not only the match, but I loved the finish of the match. The reason why I loved it so much was because Adam Cole is a heel. This is the type of win, the type of way in which you expect a heel like Adam Cole to take the victory. Then in regards to Jungle Boy, by him essentially getting low blowed, you protect him in that way, because it's like that wasn't necessarily a clean finish. He literally got low blowed and then immediately got pinned right after that. So you also protect Jungle Boy. Now, I saw a lot of people basically saying, like, what the hell, Jungle Boy needs to get some wins, like some bigger wins. Like, I saw some people saying that he should have definitely defeated Adam Cole here. I do not agree with that. I think that having Adam Cole win is the right call. And even though, you know, Jungle Boy should be getting some big wins soon, I think his time is still coming in regards to that. And I also think that, kind of like what we were talking about when Powerhouse Hobbs had that match with CM Punk, where Powerhouse Hobbs was already a winner going into this match. Same thing with Darby and CM Punk. This, to me, was the exact same thing as Jungle Boy when he had his match with Kenny Omega, was already a winner heading into that match, just even getting that opportunity. And the exact same thing here tonight with Adam Cole. So I really liked all of this. Before we get into the post-match stuff, guys, because we did have some post-match stuff with the Elite, what did you guys think of Adam Cole versus Jungle Boy here today? Let's see what else we got. We got everybody here talking about MJF and Sammy Guevara, because those were the two, like, major takeaways from tonight. And let's get what we got here. We got a comment from Sam3 who says that Cole told a great story in the ring. Really good stuff. Great pacing. Drew Scott says, another great show. I think AEW is going forward. AEW going forward has to focus on holding Dynamite in larger venues. You can clearly tell the difference in the crowd tonight compared to the Prudential Center. Well, it's going to happen. I mean, certain shows are going to be bigger than other shows. So that's just going to happen. But they made, like, with the show today being in honor of Brodie Lee and, you know, it being in his hometown, it made this show much more special because of that. You know, they dedicated the show to him. And yeah, you had a good match in Jungle Boy and Adam Cole, and you had a pretty exciting match in Miro and Sammy Guevara. But honestly, just adding the element that this show was dedicated to Brodie Lee and that it was in his hometown, that's really, in my opinion, what made this show special. Because throughout the entire show, you can feel it. Like, you can feel it in the audience, especially the audience, because they were the ones, you know, with the Brodie signs. They were the ones with the Brodie t-shirts. They were the ones, you know, chanting Brodie's name. And then, you know, later on we do get, you know, his wife and his son that come out in the show. But it's just one of those things where now, anytime AEW goes to Rochester, I think it's cool because they're always going to have that, and they're always going to get that reaction. And it could kind of always be this thing where it's like, you know, every time they're in Rochester, they can honor Brodie Lee. And I think that's really, really nice there. So that was really good stuff there, and really nice way to just honor his memory. Let's see what else we got here. I'm going to go through a couple more comments, guys. And let's see if we have any more thoughts on Adam Cole. And this is a comment from a super chat, from EMJ, Mr. EMJ, who says, crowd was shook when they thought Aubrey got hit. Yeah, you know, I didn't catch that part. So I'm a little bit, I probably didn't notice that as much. So thank you, Mr. EMJ. We got a super chat from Taylor Cannon who says, congratulations to Sammy. Jungle Boy is going to be the star. MJF is good, but I wish someone would punch him in the face. Really good show tonight. MJF is doing his job. If you want to punch him in the face, he is successfully doing his job. He is literally the ultimate heel. Every time I think MJF can't shock me anymore, he goes further and shocks me even more. So I would say, based on your comment, Taylor, what MJF is doing is definitely working. So thank you for sending in this super chat here tonight. And we got so many comments here. Let's see what else we've got. I'm going to go through a couple more. This one is from Lenny, who says, Adam Cole, Jungle Boy was a great match, just another wonderful opener and a testament to how AEW has forced WWE's hand in such a short amount of time, as it were. Jungle Boy looked great in defeat, loved how they maintained the mystique behind Jungle Boy's finisher. No one has escaped it yet by having him lose, trying to pull Cole back into the middle of the ring. No bad losses so far for AEW. Again, they told a good story, had a good match, protected both guys. Great finish, and I just don't see anybody losing in this match whatsoever. And let's go ahead and move on here, guys. But we got some good stuff. All right, so after this, we did get some post-match stuff with the Elite. So we essentially have the Elite. They're putting themselves over. They all kind of get their turn, putting themselves over, etc. Kenny Omega takes the mic and he says that Bryan Danielson is never going to get a rematch. Cool. Bryan Danielson comes out and we now have a brand new chant. Kenny No Balls Omega, with the chant being Kenny No Balls. This is going to stick with Kenny Omega forever, because the second Bryan Danielson got this chant going, I mean, it took off, okay? It took off. CM Punk on commentary made sure to note that we were most likely going to be getting a t-shirt out of this, and I will not be surprised if, like, before next week, we got a Kenny No Balls t-shirt. I like this. I mean, Bryan Danielson's basically just asking the people, like, hey, you know, I want a match against I want a match against Kenny Omega. I want a rematch against Kenny Omega. Do you guys want to see a rematch? And the crowd's like, hell yeah. He then issues a challenge to anyone from the Elite on Rampage, and Kenny says he can have a match tonight. So then Bryan ends up bringing out Jurassic Express and Christian Cage, and then they all run in and essentially run out the Elite. So I think really the major takeaway from this is, obviously, we already knew this based off the Grand Slam show. We already knew that Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega was not over yet. We were expecting a rematch at some point, and it seems like that rematch might be happening a lot sooner than some of us might have anticipated based on what we saw here tonight. They might take their time because obviously now, they've been incorporating Jurassic Express and now Christian Cage into this, so there is probably going to be more matches there. And there's a lot that they can do with those guys and the Elite as well. So that should be fun too. Let's see what else I wanted to get at. Yeah, Kenny No Balls, guys. It's getting over. It's getting over. We got a super chat from James Barris. Thank you so much to James, who says, Denise, hello again. What a way to go off the air with Sammy hitting the 630. I also loved how good Anna is with so little experience. I love that heel kick. Great episode. I thought Anna and Ty Conti had a fantastic performance here tonight. With Anna getting the win for her team, I thought she looked phenomenal as well. I really like what they're doing with those two girls, and we'll talk about that more once we actually get to their match on the night. But I think that for the most part, people are really liking the way the show ended with Sammy as champion. Thank you so much to James for sending in this super chat here. And we pretty much got everybody asking when the No Balls t-shirt is gonna come out. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. And let's go through a couple more comments as I go through this. This one is from Church of Platinum, who says, segment didn't blow my mind, but it did continue the story, so mission accomplished. Yeah, really the major thing was really just the Kenny No Balls stuff. There really wasn't like anything else like besides that. And then a pro wrestling fan says, Denise, please read my comment. Bobby Fish just challenged Sammy for the TNT title on Rhodes on Top. What? This just happened? What do you mean? And then someone says, Bobby Fish versus Sammy. Thoughts? I didn't even know this was happening. Apparently it just happened on Rhodes on Top. Okay. Holy shoots. I mean, Bobby Fish, he's doing stuff with MLW. He's going to be in that Opera Cup. So, wow, talk about the forbidden door there. Really good stuff. So, did they make this official, though? All right, someone send me some information. Is this official? A lot of people are sending me this in, but I need to know if it's official or not. I hate when news breaks when I'm on the air. All right, I'll check in a minute. But we got another super chat from Mr. EMJ who says, Kenny no balls on a Hanes white t-shirt top seller. You got to do it on the white t-shirt, man, because the white t-shirt, they've been twinning Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson. It's got to be the white t-shirt. Okay, so people are saying Bobby Fish versus Sammy next week. Oh, shoot. Thanks for telling me, guys. All right, everybody's writing the same thing to me, so I guess it's definitely for sure. Wow, I did not see that whatsoever. Someone said that Bobby Fish just tweeted it out. Oh, this is great. Okay, let me give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me go on Bobby Fish's Twitter account here. Okay, here we go. We got the official tweet from Bobby Fish, who he tweeted this out 20 minutes ago. He says, I'd like to congratulate the new TNT champion, Sammy Guevara, and be the first to challenge him for that title, ready to walk through that forbidden door. And then he tagged AEW. Well, talk about taking matters into your own hands. Bobby Fish just issued that challenge to Sammy Guevara. Good for him, man. Good for him. He recently got released from the company. I'm sure he's, just ready to go out there and prove himself. And, I've been doing a lot of coverage starting to do a lot of coverage, leading into the MLW's Opera Cup for this year. October 2nd, they're doing the tapings. And then the show is going to be airing on October 7th. And just kind of like based on that, it seems like it's going to be pretty good because they've had the 8 challengers that they announced are like really awesome, all talented individuals. So I cannot wait to watch that tournament. But Bobby Fish, that would be a good match. That would be an interesting one. I did not see that coming. All right. Moving on, this is a super chat from Cena Nuffs who says, if it's Bobby Fish, it's technically the Forbidden Ocean. Stop it. Oh, this is hilarious. Thank you so much for making me laugh here on this super chat. I really appreciate any sort of humor that we get on this chat. I always appreciate the humor. All right, let's see what else we got. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and move on in the meantime. And then people are telling me that Sammy did accept the challenge. All right. That's really cool. And all right, let's go ahead and move on. Damn, we've had a lot of excitement. That kind of threw me off. I was like, bro, what is going on? What are people talking about? All right, let's do this. Let's get into this next match. We had Dante Martin teaming up with Matt Sydal versus Lee Johnson and Cody Rhodes. We had some interesting stuff here. Really, though, I feel like, okay, so on past shows, we've seen Dante Martin, and he's been incredibly impressive, and we've already put him over. So I'm going to take a second and say great job, as always, to Dante Martin. But tonight specifically, I want to take a second and really put over Lee Johnson tonight, because I thought that Lee Johnson today was the person that I found myself most interested in during this match. And as much as I like everybody else in this match, I think today was Lee Johnson's night. He looks so smooth, man, so smooth in the ring. And that like interaction that he had with Dante Martin, just both of them kind of like, I don't even know, man, zigzagging through that ring, working with one another. I thought they were really good. They were really good together. I really like this. But what I do want to talk about, and since we just touched on the subject of that forbidden door, I might as well bring this up. So as we all know, AEW has had this, collaboration, this working relationship with Impact Wrestling. So we have shows like Dark and Dark Elevation, and we got, guys on there like, Lee Johnson and Dante Martin who have been on those shows. Great, fantastic. I do wish that AEW would send over guys like Dante Martin and Lee Johnson over to Impact Wrestling on top of what they're doing on Dark and Dark Elevation and their appearances on Dynamite. I do think that those are just a few examples of some of the guys that I think should be sent over to Impact to maybe do a couple of matches, do a couple of tapings there to get to work with some of the Impact talent, because there are a lot of veterans on Impact that I think could just like help benefit some of the the talents that are still trying to, get to that next level. for example, Dante Martin and Lee Johnson. They have so much opportunity there. I really do wish we got to see a little bit more of that with this partnership with AEW and Impact Wrestling. And I kind of had been saying this already from the start, since the second this partnership started. But just like today, it was one of those things where I was like, these are two guys who would really benefit from something like that, because it would just give them even more of, I don't want to say more of a high profile, but it would just give them a lot more on top of what they're doing on Dark and Dark Elevation. So I do want to go ahead and like throw that in there, maybe manifest it. Maybe we'll see something like that down the line. And with the way that Impact Wrestling tapes and the way that their taping schedule, like they wouldn't even miss any like AEW television. So I do think that would be really good. Lee Johnson did get the win for his team. So good for Lee Johnson there. Post-match, though, we got Arn Anderson kind of not, I'm not going to say bearing Cody Rhodes, but he was definitely trying to knock some sense into Cody Rhodes here tonight, because he essentially alludes to Cody that he does not have the killer instinct that it takes, because he said that Cody had a chance to finish off Malachi Black, and he did not do that, because instead he took the time to check on Arn Anderson, and Arn Anderson's like, to hell with me, like you should have been finishing off Malachi Black. I gotta say, I was a fan of this. I was a fan of everything that Arn Anderson said during this post-match promo to Cody. I thought that was really cool. I was a fan of this. I don't think you can when you have somebody like for Cody Rhodes, when you have somebody like Arn Anderson telling you don't have the killer instinct, that should be like a wake-up call, and there should be a shift in what we're seeing with Cody Rhodes. There should be a shift in Cody after what we heard from Arn Anderson, what he told him here tonight. So I do hope that in the coming weeks, we start to see some changes in Cody Rhodes and what he's doing based off what's been going on with him and Malachi Black, and based off of what Arn Anderson said here tonight. So thoughts, everybody. What did you guys think of what I had to say about Dante Martin, Lee Johnson, this match in general? Thoughts on Arn Anderson and Cody Rhodes? Send in your thoughts and I'll go ahead and read some of these. Here we go, guys. We got a super chat from Philip Sanders. Thank you so much to Philip, who says, can't wait for next week. Sammy just accepted Bobby's challenge during Rhodes' show break. Yeah. Okay. So I kind of just found out about that right now. So I think this is a good way to get Sammy Guevara's TNT Championship reign going. And they have announced a lot of matches for next week already for the anniversary show. And let me pull this up right now. I think F4W already has it on the home page. So already, guys, and I might as well read this now. They made a lot of matches for the anniversary show next week. So it's going to be looking like a pretty good lineup. So we got Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Adam Cole taking on Bryan Danielson, Christian Cage, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus. And then on top of that, we have Hikaru Shida versus Serena Deeb. That's going to be really good. And then we have the Casino Ladder match for the AEW World Title shot. So that's going to be really awesome. I'm looking forward to the anniversary show. Already some good stuff announced for it. Thank you so much to Philip Sanders for bringing this up. And let's go through a couple more comments, guys. All right, we got several, so I'm trying to pick out a few of them. We got Question the Marcus says, do not mess with Arn Anderson. Dude, he's putting him on check. I love this. Our Rig says, this was hard on the crowd. They were booing Cody, but cheering Lee and Martin. Lots of tension. And thank you, Arn, for saying what many have wanted to say to Cody. And let's see. Let's go through a couple more. Oh, no. Pro Wrestling Fan says, I accidentally put him in timeout. That's an accident. So for those of you who have never used StreamYard, on the comments, I click on people's comments, but sometimes if I click too fast, I'll accidentally press the wrong button. So I'm sorry if I accidentally put you on timeout there. I did not mean to do that. And let's go through a couple more. This one is from Crazy J, who says, if Penta gets hurt, I would like to see a temporary tag team with Dante Martin and Rey Fenix, or even a one-on-one between the two. I'm going to say a one-on-one between the two because I don't want Penta to get hurt whatsoever. So let's stick with a one-on-one would be a really fun match here. And let's go through a couple more comments here. And we got several of them. This is a comment from Mac Hensley, who says, first time seeing all but Cody in the ring, and I really like this match. Goes on to say, Lee looked great, but I was more invested in how much the crowd hated Cody. Don't blame him, to be honest. The arm promo was great too. We've talked about this a lot, but Cody needs to, I know Cody has no interest in turning heel, but it feels like he needs to be, because the babyface stuff with Cody, like, it's just not working. Like, people are not into it. And that was very, very evident during his match with Malachi Black. And that was something that we definitely got into when we did that show review. We got a super chat from Daniel Zambrano. Thank you so much to Daniel, who says, I love how layered and complicated the story is, making the audience pay attention to details and keeping attention. There you go. That makes a story fun. It definitely does. Thank you to Daniel for sending this in. We got another super chat from Taylor Cannon, who says, Arn Anderson is still the best promo in the business. My goodness. I love this. This was probably one of my favorite things that I've seen Arn Anderson do in recent memory on AEW television. So I will say that was probably, definitely one of my favorite stuff that he's recently done on the show. And thank you so much to Eric Sybil for sending in a super chat. Didn't send in a comment, but I still appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for sending in this super chat. And all right, we got so many more comments, guys. I'm trying to get as many as we possibly can. And let's go through some more. We got another person here, Corey Conway, who just basically says that the 2-year anniversary show is going to be fire. And a lot of people are really excited about Bobby Fish versus Sammy Guevara. Really excited about that. We got another super chat from Reggie Simmons, who says, what a time to be a wrestling fan. We have been spoiled the last 2 months. Here's to another great show. We really have. Chris Ludek sends in a super chat and says, to be honest, Cody's angles haven't felt important since his MJF feud. This might be the change he needs to become a top guy again. Like, I think no matter what, like, Cody's always going to be a top guy, like, as an EVP of the company, and like everything that he does, he's always going to be a top guy. But it's just, the problem is that he's been involved in stories that necessarily haven't been that great. And it kind of felt like the story with Malachi Black was going to be a shift. It was going to be, something totally different from what we had been seeing of him before. But it was just kind of weird because, they started it, then there was like this huge, there was kind of like a pause, and then they restarted it. So I almost feel like it hasn't been what a lot of people expected from Malachi and Cody. And then obviously, we're still kind of there. I do hope that this is essentially the thing that changes. Like I said, I hope that Arn's words influence Cody into changing, on Dynamite. So we'll see what happens. Thank you so much to Chris for sending in this super chat as well. And all right, guys, I'm trying to catch up with as many as we can. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and move on. So after this, we have this one. I don't really have much to say about this one, but we had Moxley and Kingston and Darby Allin versus Bear Country and Anthony Green, ladies and gentlemen. So this was a really fast match. I mean, this was just a fun match to get all of these guys on television. That's really what it was. And I didn't mind it because this isn't a match that it's not like we've seen this match before. We definitely haven't. So it's a fresh match. Some of the spots that I did like, though, was Kingston suplexing Bronson. I thought that was pretty cool. I like that Darby did the safest coffin drop ever onto Bear Country. That was literally the safest coffin drop he could have done, with like two big dudes essentially there waiting for him. Quick match. Moxley ended up getting the win for his team on this match. That's kind of about it. That's really all I wanted to add. Nothing much for me on this one here. But we do got a comment from Church of Platinum, who's putting over Bear Country and Green for being amazing. And we got a funny comment from Duke Tastrophe, who says, I hope Cody gives a you people speech. Oh, you people. Those you people promos. Ah, dear Lord. All right. And we got a couple people saying, we got a comment from Mac who says, honestly, kind of love this match. It was fun, guys. It was a fun match. And this one's from R. Riggs, who says he loved Green bouncing off of Mox and Kingston. We got Pomi Wrestling saying Anthony Green had a killer match against FTR on Dark last week. Big recommendation. Thank you, because I did not watch that. So I appreciate the recommendations. Guys, I do not get to watch Dark or Dark Elevation as much as I would like to. I rarely get to watch it. So please feel free to always send forth recommendations. You guys can tweet me. If people recommend stuff to me and say, Denise, go out of your way to watch this, I will make sure to go out of my way to watch it, because I hate being out of the loop, guys. I suffer from FOMO, okay? I suffer from FOMO. I do not want to be out of the loop here. And all right. Oh man, Josh Bowen says, Denise, Rhodes to the Top is a really good show. Check it out when you get a chance. You know what? I'm going to watch the first episode. After this stream and after I take a shower and after I relax, I'm going to watch the first episode, and we'll see how I feel. All right, here we go. Let's move on from this. We get a quick vignette between Britt Baker and Ruby Soho, just kind of talking smack to one another. And really the only thing that I want to talk about here is this really hilarious line from Britt Baker where she says that people were not cheering, that she says that the 20,000 people in their main event match at Grand Slam were not necessarily cheering for Ruby Soho, that they just like the song and they were cheering for the song, not necessarily her. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. So good stuff from Britt Baker on that there. Alrighty, everyone. Let's move on to the 16-man tag that we got here between the Hardy Family Office versus Orange Cassidy and the Dark Order. As I mentioned earlier, the show was obviously honoring Brodie Lee in his hometown of Rochester. So this was they had announced this match earlier on social media, and essentially we know that the Dark Order has not necessarily been on the same page, but they were sort of forced to be in this match. So that was explained ahead of time. And we see -1. He comes out. So that was really cute. He comes out during the entrance. And then during this match, so they're having this match, we see Evil Luna walk out, and then again, we start to see, the tension between the Dark Order. So as they're sort of, arguing on the ramp and Evil Luna is walking out, we then see Anna Jay, Ty Conti, Amanda Huber, and -1 all come out, and they sort of put at ease, get them back in there to be on the same page during this match. We see -1 throw the papers the way that his dad does. That was really cute. And we essentially see Amanda Huber kind of like telling them get back in there, et cetera, so, telling them to stop fighting. I thought this was a really nice way to bring them in and be included in this storyline, especially on this show. They found a nice way to bring them in and include them in this. I thought this was really cool. So then once they all get back on the same page during this match, we see John Silver. He ends up going he's on fire. He just starts taking everybody out during this match. Dark Order's on the same page. This ends with them getting the win. And then afterwards, we get a really nice moment where they're all hugging in the ring together. Amanda Huber comes in, -1 comes in, they're all hugging. Ty Conti, guys, oh my gosh, I think that she was kind of I don't know how to explain it, but you can see a lot of emotion in her face, not just through this, but even in her match later on. But you can tell that she was definitely feeling the feels. And when you have the entire audience there and they're, all chanting for Brodie, and they have been the entire night, then on top of that, you have his wife there and his son and his friends. And I could just imagine what a really nice moment that was for all the people involved there. So I really like this. Man, this was nice, guys. I don't know what else to say. Also, they did announce that Amanda Huber and Chris Huber, who is John Huber's brother, they are starting a legacy foundation for John Huber. And essentially what they're doing is helping out people that maybe can't pursue their dreams because they don't have the resources because of, family stuff. So it's a very nice charity that they're finding a way to honor John Huber. And the press release got sent out today. I posted that on Twitter. So if you guys want more information on all of that, I know that they're going to be opening up applications for it, I think in 2022. And then also they put out a t-shirt on AEWshop.com. They have a new Brodie Lee t-shirt where all the proceeds go to the foundation that was announced today. So you can definitely check that out on my Twitter. That is up there right now. So this was a really nice way to everything that they did. It was nice. All right, guys, let's see what else you guys are saying here. We got a super chat from Mr. EMJ who says, business picked up when -1 and his mom came out. Yeah, it definitely did. We got a super chat from Daniel who says, this was perfect. Brodie's family bringing them together was brilliant booking. I didn't see it coming somehow. The -1 paper throw got me teared up. Actually, I'm glad that Daniel brought this up because I didn't see this coming. And it kind of seems very obvious in hindsight. Like Dark Order has been having, like, we were all thinking the same direction for some reason. Like we were all thinking, okay, so the Dark Order is having all of this tension. They've mentioned leader and this and that and this and that. And so I think a lot of us were more so just focusing on who's going to be the new leader of the Dark Order, who's going to be the new leader of the Dark Order. We were all expecting, some of us were expecting Bray Wyatt. Some of us were expecting Hangman Page to return. We were expecting Hangman Page to return. So it's like we were all, I think, focused on that, where it's like when they did this with her coming out, Amanda Huber and -1 coming out and kind of laying down the law. I didn't see this coming either. And it should be, it's obvious now in hindsight that this was a direction that they were going in, but I didn't think of it like before. So I thought that was pretty clever. So thank you so much to Daniel for sending in that super chat. I was definitely on the same page. We got a comment from 666 Knees who says that they loved the hug. Corey Conway also loved this segment. We got a lot of really good stuff here. Everybody loved this. This one is from Matt Kensley who says, the in-ring stuff didn't really do much for me, but that didn't matter in this match. The story was the important part. It was really nice to see Brodie's family, and it was a beautiful moment. Yeah, this whole thing, it was about the moment. It was about the story. It was about the bigger picture as a whole. Mr. EMJ also points out that John Silver effing ruled in this match. He did. We got a comment from Justin Martin who says, such a beautiful, heartwarming moment. The post-match was everything that is wonderful about wrestling. Real powerful emotion. We love you, Brodie. And I'm going to go through a couple more. This one's from Pomi who says, surprised by no Hangman, but just happy to see Dark Order back on the same page. Also love the detail that they beat Matt Hardy, who was supposed to debut on the Rochester show too. Yeah, and I'm glad that he also brought that up in his promo at the top of this as well. So yeah, good on that. And now it begs the question, and I'll leave this to the chat, everybody, because I feel like a lot of people will probably have better answers than I do. But when do we see Hangman Page coming back now? A lot of us thought that he was going to be back during the Grand Slam episodes. Some of us thought that he was going to be back here tonight. So when does he return? When does Hangman Page return? We have the anniversary show next week. Is that a possibility? Send in some predictions, everybody, and I'll get a couple of those there. And all right, let's see what else we got here. We got a lot of people sending in a lot of loving comments to Ty Conti as well, because yeah, she's hard. It's hard not to be a fan of Ty Conti. She's just has natural likability. Like I can't imagine someone not liking Ty Conti. If you don't like Ty Conti, something is wrong with you. All right. We got people saying that we got some predictions here for when Hangman Page might return. We got Doobie Pill saying after or at Full Gear. We got Seth Iroth also saying Full Gear. More people saying Full Gear here. Hammerin says maybe after Full Gear, Hangman might return. YT says maybe they hold it off until after Full Gear. And see, that's the thing, is that because they have so many people that are over and so many people that can be over, they have a lot of names, they don't necessarily need Hangman Page. And that's not to say that, oh, we don't need Hangman Page. It's just that there's a lot of people right now that we are interested in too. So it's his time away is not necessarily hurting the product. Like there's times where people go away and it hurts the product, because you're like, damn, we really miss this person. A big example, and I think you guys are all thinking it, a big recent example, Becky Lynch. When Becky Lynch left, that women's division suffered, okay? And everybody was like, damn, we need Becky Lynch and we need her back. It's not the same situation with Hangman Page right now. It's just two totally different things. But all right, here we go. We're moving on, everybody. We're moving on. All right. After this is going to be sort of interesting. I'm curious to see what the people here have to say. So we got the return of Lio Rush. Lio Rush is back, ladies and gentlemen. Just a quick recap. So Lio Rush on April 15th, 2020 was released from WWE as part of the budget cut stemming from COVID-19. And then at AEW Double or Nothing, he was the Joker. So he came out on at AEW Double or Nothing. I was there. I remember that. And then afterwards, I think it was during the press conference that Tony Khan had basically said that, obviously he was signed, et cetera, et cetera. And then shortly thereafter, he suffered an injury and he retired. So now really quickly after, because AEW Double or Nothing was this year. This was just a couple of months ago. And we're not even towards the end of the year, September, and Lio Rush is back. So the retirement was very, very, very brief, very, very short. Let me see. I'm going to word this the best way that I possibly can, guys. So I'm a big fan of Lio Rush. I really like his in-ring ability. I think that he's phenomenal in the ring, and I think that they have a lot of potential there. However, if you go through the comments and with anybody talking about Lio Rush on like social media, a lot of what you're going to see are retirement jokes. You're going to see retirement jokes. And the reason why you're seeing that is because it's not the first time that he's announced a retirement. So I do think that, unfortunately, people are associating him with that now. And that, to me, it's like, I'm trying to pick my right words to say here, but I really do think that Lio Rush is a great talent, but I do think he needs to prove himself before he essentially gets everything thrown at his feet. I don't know how else to put this, but like there are a lot of people on Dark and Dark Elevation who have been there and have been like busting their, chops to essentially, get a spot on Dynamite, to get a spot. There's a lot of people that we don't get to see very often on Dynamite. Why? Because there are so many talents out there. So I'll be honest, like I think that Lio Rush needs to prove himself first before he gets put in this like spot on Dynamite. And again, I'm a fan of his work, but it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, now you're taking somebody else's spot, somebody who's been there, putting in the work. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm glad to see him back, but I do not hope that he necessarily takes the spot away from somebody else who has been there, really, really hustling. And I'm just going to throw some examples out there because there's plenty of examples of people who I think could be in that spot. But just like, for example, I'm going to throw out some women for a change because Hikaru Shida, we're finally, she's going to get a match, against Serena Deeb. Great. But prior to that, we don't get to see her very often on Dynamite. Thunder Rosa is like super freaking over. Okay. And yesterday I even posted this cute like little thing about, supporting women's wrestlers and, who was your first favorite women's wrestler? Who's your current favorite women's wrestler? I got like almost 1,000 responses to that. And I will tell you, like, based on my terrible, shitty math skills, I would say like 60-70% of those like responses were pictures of Thunder Rosa. And all that told me was, damn, Thunder Rosa is much more over than like even I knew about. So Thunder Rosa, I went and checked. She hasn't been on Dynamite since like August. And I'm like, she is one of the most over women that you have, and you don't even feature her that much. So I'm just giving like a couple of examples of people that I think could kind of utilize a spot like this. So I do think that it's good that he's back. I think he's a great talent, but I do think that you need to prove yourself just a little bit more before you get thrown right in there, Send in your thoughts, guys. Do you agree? Do you disagree? let me know in the comments. I'm seeing like so many super chats coming in here. I'm like terrified. I'm like, what are the people gonna say? What are they gonna say? I'm gonna be like the Johnny Gargano meme, hiding because I had a take. All right, we got a super chat from Cena Nubbs who says, I guess you might say Lio Rush's return was a rush. It was definitely rush. We got a super chat from Christopher Marino who says, I love Lio Rush. Now give me Rush versus Phoenix versus Dante Martin. That would be phenomenal. Hell yeah, I would be here for that. And oh my God, Eric Sibby, holy shoot. You literally just gave me the biggest super chat I've ever received in my entire life. Eric Sibby, thank you so much for this massive super chat. You seriously did not have to, but I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Please tweet me because you literally just sent me the biggest super chat ever. Please tweet me because I would like to send you a message. So please tweet me. I don't know your Twitter name, so please tweet me because this is just a massive super chat. I feel like I need to say thank you on a personal level. So thank you so much to Eric. But he sends in a comment with his super chat. It says, I believe Hangman will be at Full Gear and challenge. Can you Mega at Winter? I think based on what everybody is saying here about him coming back at Full Gear, it feels plausible. But then again, I don't know how much time he's taking off or how much time he needs off. I do not know. But thank you so much to Eric. I can't thank you enough. You've taken the words out of my mouth. Thank you so much. Seriously. God, guys. And here I was all scared to like see like the comments here. All right, guys. I'm going to go through a couple more here. But we got a lot of people just basically all right, I'm going to go through several more comments. There's just a lot of stuff that we're getting here. And I'm trying to find some like comments that okay, we got one from Haj Gulashi who thinks that I'm spot on. We got a lot of people. We got Ultimate Bulldog who says he really likes Lio Rush. He's incredibly talented and he can move. He obviously has this very agile ability. He moves really fast in the ring. Somebody else mentioned a match with him and Rey Fenix and Dante Martin. That would be fantastic. So yeah, we got another super chat from James Boris who says, I've said this before, but I love Riho. I want her back on Dynamite. Dude, hell yeah. That's another person we need to see more of on Dynamite. And okay. Sorry guys. I don't know how to react. Haj Gulashi, thank you so much, guys. Seriously. Haj Gulashi just sent in a major super chat. Is this like a super chat war? Because I'm all here for it. Haj Gulashi just says, gotta take back that. Okay, guys. All right. Sorry, I don't know how to react. I'm so sorry. Haj Gulashi says, got to take back that top spot. Also, Denise, I agree with you on this one. Haj Gulashi, please message me as well on Twitter, please. Guys, you do not have to fight for the top spot on here for super chats, but seriously, thank you so much for sending this in. You legitimately have no idea how kind that is of you. Like, legitimately do not know how kind that is. And I also want to put this out there too. Even people who do not super chat, if you come into the show, dude, like you have no idea how much all of that means to me. Like legitimately. Thank you so much. I don't even know what to do. Okay. I need to have somebody that like gives me directions. All right. Here we go, guys. We got Kevin Smith putting over Thunder Rosa and definitely says that we need more Thunder Rosa on this show. And I agree. We got, okay. Sorry, guys. I don't know what to do now. I'm like freaking out internally. All right. And let's go through some more comments here. And okay, we got some. All right. I think people here on this, comment here. Okay, I don't know what I'm saying anymore, guys. All right, I'm gonna move on. Sorry. I'm a professional, I swear. All right, let's get into Dan Lambert and Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. So we have Dan Lambert coming out here. He's bashing Chris Jericho like he normally does. And he's essentially just talking smack. the way that he normally does. Scorpio Sky then takes the microphone and he says that, he's one of the first champions. He was one of the first champions in AEW. He starts to put over how he's had a high winning streak. He says he has a lot of potential, that he was the face of the revolution, but that all of his accomplishments on AEW have not been good enough because the people keep looking past him. I thought that Scorpio Sky was the one who made the most sense. Like Dan Lambert, he's great on the mic. We've already established that. He's really great at generating that heel heat. We all know that. But I didn't think that out of all his promos, this one was definitely not up there. This one was just kind of like meh. It was just there. Scorpio Sky. Okay, I'm going to go back to Scorpio Sky, but let's fast forward to Ethan Page, because Ethan Page also took the microphone here. And then he basically just says that the crowd looks past him and that they're being overlooked. Here's my thing. The only person here that made sense to me was Scorpio Sky. Why? Because Scorpio Sky gave us a bunch of examples of the things that he has actually done in AEW to make me say, you know what? He's right. People have been looking past him. Like, look at all the things that he did on AEW. All of that makes sense to me. For me, this promo did not make sense for Ethan Page because Ethan Page didn't have a laundry list of all the things that he's done on AEW to say we've looked past him. But I get it. He's a heel, so he's going to say stuff like that. But I really did think the only person that made sense here was Scorpio Sky. So I'll just kind of leave it at that there. We're going to go ahead and move on. But before we do have a super chat from Mr. EMJ who says, super chats are being treated like prices, right? Bids, LOL. We love you, Denise. Keep being you. Thank you so much. I know, man. Actually, you know what? Screw it. This is not going to be a post show anymore. I'm just going to have people on here bringing super chats and I'll just be like on the wheel or something. It could be like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, guys. We got another super chat from Edgar Dominguez who says, I can buy you coffee. Will you be at WrestleMania next year? I do want to be at WrestleMania next year. I'm making an effort to be at all the major wrestling events. It's hard, but I'm going to try to be at all of them. I already submitted my media credentials to AEW Full Gear. So hopefully they accept me. They've been accepting me for like every show to do the coverage for them. But I'm always like scared that they're going to be like, not this year, Denise, but I hope not. So knock on wood. I hope that they say yes to me. But in regards to WrestleMania, I also hope that they say yes to me, which I hope they do. So we'll see. Thank you so much to Edgar Dominguez for also asking that question as well. And all right, we're going to go through a couple more comments here and see what you guys are saying. This one is from Lenny Banner who says, I think we're getting Men of the Year challenging the Luchas for the tag strap sometime next month, and we get Santana and Ortiz at Full Gear. I don't know who they're going to face, but they need to give them more. They need to give them more matches because I can't buy them saying they're being overlooked if they're not actually even having some sort of matches. So that I could at least be like, all right, they're being overlooked. They're winning matches, but they're being overlooked, whatever. They need to give me a reason to believe that they're being overlooked. Like, I could buy it again with Scorpio Sky, but as a duo, they need to do more for me or be put in more matches for me on Dynamite for me or Rampage for me to say, okay, they're being overlooked. Or even on Dark Elevation. I don't know what their record is on Dark Elevation. I do not know. But either way, we'll see. All right. And for those of you guys asking, WrestleMania is not going to be what year are we in? No, WrestleMania is in Dallas next year. The year after that, it's in Los Angeles, for those of you who are asking. So next year is Dallas, and then the year after that is LA. Yeah, WrestleMania 39 is LA. All right. Let's move on. So we got the women's tag team match, Ty Conti and Anna Jay versus the Bunny and Penelope Ford. This is really good stuff. We see Anna Jay and Ty Conti get attacked before the bell, but they're suplexed by their opponents out onto the floor. But then we start to see Conti do a bunch of like judo throws. That's really what she's good at here. We see some good double team action throughout this entire match. I do want to say too that side note, I really appreciated Ty Conti's and Anna Jay's gear. I thought they looked really great as a team. In the end, we end up seeing Anna Jay and Ty Conti get the win. This was a perfectly fine women's tag match. I enjoyed it, and obviously they had to get the win here today. They're honoring Brodie Lee, so there was no doubt that they had to get the win here tonight. So good stuff on them. And again, it was nice to see, them celebrating with -1 and all of that was like really, really cute. We got a super chat from Sheldon Jackson. Thank you so much to Sheldon, who says, how interested are you in Sammy Guevara versus Bobby Fish next week for the TNT Championship? Well, since I found out about 54 minutes ago, I like it. I really do. I think that it's a very different type of matchup than what most of us would be expecting, but given that they both wrestle very different styles, I am interested to see how they're going to mesh together in the ring and what kind of chemistry that they're going to have together. I don't know what to expect. Like, this feels, for me, very out of nowhere, very left field. Did not see this coming. So I like it. I'm all about, that's the thing. When it comes to like the Forbidden Door and you know, people working with one another, what I want to see out of this are matches that I never thought that we would get. I like to see different people in the ring together that I maybe would not have said, oh, this is what I want to see. Maybe it wasn't at the top of my list. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Sammy versus Bobby Fish was at the top of my list. It wasn't. I hadn't even thought about it at all. So the fact that we're getting it, I'm cool with that. I'm really cool with that. So thank you so much to Sheldon Jackson for sending in that super chat here. A lot of people are putting over Rhodes to the top. All right, good to know. I'm going to watch it today. And here we go. Let's move on. So we got a couple more things to talk about. All right, we got, oh, this is it, guys. This is it. So earlier I was saying that there were a couple of people on Twitter that I saw that were kind of upset at some of the things that MJF said in tonight's promo. Now, I'll just start off by saying that I'm a fan of MJF, and I kind of bloody loved everything he did tonight. So I'm sorry if I do not necessarily agree with the people that did not like MJF's promo, because I loved MJF's promo. So let's go ahead and break down what he actually had to say. He basically says that he's willing to do whatever it takes to make this company successful. He says that he wants to be the AEW World Champion. And while I'm here, I may add that it would have been better had he beat Chris Jericho for him to say he's going for the AEW World Championship. Anyways, Darby Allin comes out, and this is where things kind of get a little bit, I don't know. MJF says some stuff. Let's just say that. So MJF essentially compares Darby. He tells him, and I should have written this down, but he essentially says that he looks like he compares him to a school shooter. He says he looks like a school shooter with a skateboard. And given like, that's not necessarily something that I would have came up with. And I can see why there were some people that got upset by this, because obviously that's not necessarily something to make fun of. And I get it 100%. But I did not think it was a bad way to use it in this context, because he's essentially bearing Darby for looking like a creep, and that is why he said that he looks like a school shooter. But a lot of people definitely did not like that line. And now there's people that are going to be like, well, he's a heel, he's going to say shit like that, so it's okay, right? So I think whatever, mentality you subscribe to, I just don't think that, I personally did not have a problem with this line. I did not have a problem with it. Then we have, then he takes it to another level. So after this, MJF brings up a legitimate true story about Darby's uncle. So Darby's uncle was, so Darby's uncle died in a car accident, drunk driving, and Darby was in the car and Darby survived. And MJF mentions that the wrong guy died, basically insinuating that it should have been Darby. And so he kind of brings in this very real life story into this. And this one here, I think, is like, oh, shoot. Now, here's my thing. And I said this last week, not like a couple weeks ago, when he was doing this whole thing with Brian Pillman Jr. And, when he was, talking about his dad and, throwing shots at his family. I knew that there had to be some sort of, I don't know what the creative process is. I don't know what the protocol is for stuff like this. I don't know if this is something that maybe he gets approved. Like, maybe he tells the guy, like, hey, I'm going to mention this, or hey, are you cool if I mention this? I'm assuming that is what goes down, because I know that MJF does things like very the way that he wants to. But I definitely feel like that's something that was approved by either by both Darby and Tony Khan, or just Darby, whatever. I do not think this would have been said had it not been something that was okay with all parties involved. So that is why, for me, I'm like, cool, you're taking this to another level that I probably wouldn't have taken it to. But hey, you're a heel and he's doing some great stuff. So I know that some people probably didn't like this. I did. I think that he's just taking it to another level. So I did not hate this. Send in your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Were you uncomfortable? Or were you just like, hell yeah, like this is good heel stuff, man. Bring on the heat. Send on your thoughts here. We got a super chat from Daniel Zambrano who says, love the concept of the 4 young pillars of AEW. Yeah, and they were definitely hitting that home. So that was really cool stuff here. We got Labor Day saying MJF is too savage. A Semper says MJF always bringing up dead people. What an a-hole. Haj Gulashi says Darby not attacking him at the end was fantastic. Such a good twist on expectations. Yeah. And it's one of those things that I think that him not attacking him and him kind of just like being there and like almost processing what he had just heard and like being in the moment and really kind of soaking in what MJF said, to me, that sold it a lot more than if he would have gone and jumped him. Because it's like, oh man, he really pressed a button on Darby Allin. We don't normally see Darby react like this. So Darby's reaction to what MJF said sold it even more, where you're just like, oh man, like he really, really pushed a button there. So I did like that as well. This one's from Chaotic Fantasy who says MJF wasn't just savage tonight. He was vicious. LOL. We got this person saying from Azul Picio who says, talking about a man's alcoholic uncle is unacceptable. And Zeno Hour says that the quote was a school shooter mime on a skateboard. The mime, the paint, Darby Allin's painting on his face. So yeah, the mime part was pretty funny too. And let's see what else we got. Yeah, we got people saying, some people again liked it. Some people think that it's messed up. We got our rig saying MJF did his job to perfection tonight. His goal is to get heat. If people have an issue with it, it worked. We got Cena Nuffs who says someday MJF is going to get in trouble, but I'm just enjoying the ride while it lasts. Jake Larson says, I usually agree with everything you say, Denise. I didn't like the school shooter line at all. Imagine being a Parkland kid who watches AEW. And Cherry Lax says MJF goes cheap all the time. We got Arrig saying, I wonder what Dan Lambert would say of all the people complaining. I did think of Dan Lambert during this. This one is from Drew Scott, who says we saw a lot worse during the Attitude Era. Haj Gulashi says, I feel he obviously cleared what he was saying with Darby, and if he was okay using it, I'm not going to say it was wrong. Matt Hensley says, I love the MJF promo. I didn't notice the school shooter line, but I don't mind it. I had no idea about Darby's past, so when the uncle stuff was brought up, what shocked me, the uncle stuff is what shocked him during this promo. Devin says, I get what you mean. It wasn't glorifying the concept of the topic. It was just a delicate topic to use, period. We got, let's see what else we got. Ace Semper says, sad topic, yes, but it's kayfabe, and we got to kayfabe it off. This one's from Zachary, who thinks MJF is boring, and that he's been escalating lately because it's all he can do. Interesting. Okay, we're getting a lot of interesting comments here, guys, and this is what I like. I love to get everybody's different opinions on this show because we got people listening with different views. So, JD says, MJF working everyone as expected. He's the best. Tejas Reg says, I absolutely love the direction they're taking with this. It's all about mental warfare rather than physical. That is a good way to put about it. That's a good way to put it because Darby was kind of like, again, with that reaction that he had, it was like he messed with his head. Sticker Reds 202 says it could have been Darby's idea for all we know. Lenny Banner says MJF would have caused a riot in the 80s, maybe possibly in the 90s. MJF is the resident of habitual line stepper, and I get why folks who would find issues with this dig he used tonight. Darby not attacking him was great, and Punk adding in that line about how MJF was a bully and MJF fled when Darby made it clear he wasn't going to react. Lenny also adds that he personally loved this segment. I agree. I did like it, but I get why people don't like it. So if you didn't like it, I get it, man. I get it. But I did. All right, let's see what else we got here. Ultimate Bulldog says, I loved everything MJF said. He works everything very well and he builds things very, very well. Perfect promo. And this one's from Duke Tastrophe, who says, commentary used to always bring up the uncle story when explaining why Darby paints his face like a skull, so it's not a secret. And this one's from Chair Relax, who says he punches low all the time. No real mouth work. Just let's find something crappy in the other guy's life and go for it. Okay, I see. Okay. And we got a super chat from Mr. EMJ, who says, look, it would be different if Darby didn't look like an outcast that most people associate with school shooters. And Darby no-selling that. And the comment about his uncle dying made Darby look hard AF. Like adding to his backstory and adding more depth to Darby's character. I'm assuming that's what you mean by this. And I can definitely see that, because it's like, he didn't have, that's not, I don't know how to say this, but that's not something that you get. That's not an easy thing to get through in life. Not easy whatsoever. So it does add to, like, I don't know how to, like, I don't want to say add to his reputation. That's not a good way to say it. That's not a good way. I don't know, but I get what you mean by this. Like, and I think the people here that read the comment get what we're trying to get at here. So we'll move on from that. And we got Josh Bowen, who says, perfect segment, the marquee feud in AEW right now. Loved it. And at least now we know what they're doing with MJF, because a lot of people basically, we didn't know what direction they were going in with MJF. So I'm liking the fact that they're going with him and Darby Allin, because these are two guys that have definitely been making a name for themselves in AEW. And we are definitely seeing it here. And this one is from Tabby Lavalamp, who says, I'd love to see MJF being the last of the four to win a title to really push him over the edge. Oh, man. Let's see. Let's go through a couple more. All right, cool. This one's from Cena Nuffs, who says, Darby has brought it up in wrestling context in the past. I figured a heel would bring it up at some point. All right. Zachary Brent says, I like MJF sometimes. I liked him against Cody. I even liked him against Moxley. But lately, it's just been grating. My least favorite segment every week. That's so interesting. Dude, I've been liking, honestly, MJF Brian Pillman Jr. and that whole storyline. Oh man, I was on here like raving about it for weeks. I remember coming on here, and if you guys watch this show, you guys will know that that was my favorite story. Why? Because of the heel work that MJF did. I really, really appreciated it. All right, but let's move on. Again, for those of you who are watching the replay of this, go ahead and send in your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Feel free to let us know. All right, and let's lastly get into the final segment of the night. Before I do, I want to remind you guys all that I will be back this Friday. We got the WWE draft happening on Smackdown Night 1. Who's going to be drafted? We do not know. We're going to find out on Friday and then again on Monday, but I will be here to talk about that on Friday. Plus, on top of that, we have a 1-hour Rampage to talk about, so that's going to be pretty fun. So 2 hours of Smackdown, 1 hour of Rampage. I'll be covering that on Friday. Here we go. Main event time. Miro versus Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship. This was a fun match, guys. A really fun main event, and we do have the title changing hands. We have Miro dominating the start of this match. We see Sammy hit the shooting star press. Miro catches him and slams him down. We then see Sammy hit the Spanish fly. We see Sammy try to get him in the GTH, but Miro is just too big, and Miro kicks him in the face. Then we see Sammy hit the Tornado DDT. The second he hits the Tornado DDT, everybody stands up because they all know that this is Sammy's moment. Sammy then hits the GTH, then hits the 630 senton and wins the TNT title. This was a fun match. Good win for Sammy Guevara. I'm really happy for him. Sammy getting this opportunity, this run as a TNT champion. I will say this. I didn't necessarily think that it was time to end Miro's reign as TNT champion. I thought that they could have done a lot more with him as TNT champion. I thought there was still way more left on the table, but that's fine. You can always circle back to that. Now it's Sammy Guevara's turn, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to bring to the TNT title picture. I feel like Sammy Guevara, he was doing so much with the Inner Circle that we didn't really get to see as many like one-on-one matches between him and other guys as much as I think a lot of us might have wanted to see like on Dynamite and now on Rampage. So now with him being TNT champion, we are going to get to see that a lot more now. So I personally am looking forward to that because Sammy does have really, really fun matches here. So thoughts, guys, how do you guys feel about Sammy becoming the TNT champion? We got Lone Wolf Uchiha, who says, definitely a great match. Congrats to Sammy. Drew Scott says, Miro shouldn't have lost. God was truly made his presence felt this week, from costing Finn Balor to now costing Miro. Oh, man, why'd you have to remind me? Why did you have to remind me? Kevin says, yeah, his reign ended too early. A Swole really liked seeing Sammy Guevara win. We got... Cena Nubbs, who says Miro was killing it. Looking forward to seeing what he does next. And Ricky also agrees that Miro's TNT title reign should have been longer. Black Viper GX says, I love the work Miro was doing as the Redeemer. Shut down a lot of haters. He was always my favorite. Zeno Hour says Miro dropped the TNT title because God jumped ship to WWE. Roman Reigns is God's new favorite champion. Stop it. That's hilarious. Really, really hilarious. Ralph says that Sammy Guevara's win popped him so loud he had to apologize to his neighbors. You know what? Tell your neighbors, screw you guys. I'm gonna mark out. Let me mark out, neighbors. I pay my rent. Hey, if you pay your rent, you can mark the hell out. Actually, no, if you were my neighbor and I didn't watch wrestling and you were screaming, I'd be pretty damn pissed. We got Patrick Etheridge, who says, I agree. I think there was a lot left for Miro as champion, but very cool to see what matches Sammy will have with new contenders. Let's see what else. We got some more comments here. Josh Bowen says, I have to respectfully disagree. Now is the perfect time to show to pull the trigger on Sammy. Awesome ending. We got Ace Semper saying, I didn't expect a Sammy win. I'm worried for how Miro will maintain his momentum after losing the title, but hopefully he could have a significant feud after this. Lance Archer would be great. I feel like Lance Archer keeps like getting pushed to the side. Like he's kind of been like in the shadows. Definitely, I feel like he's been in the shadows. Haj Gulashi says Sammy was starting to lose some of that luster that was built since the start of the Pinnacle feud. This was great timing, still capitalizing on it before it was too late. Daniel Zambrano says happy for Sammy, but man, I didn't want Eddie. Oh, but man, I did want Eddie to win the belts off of Miro at the Arthur Ashe show. Great match tonight. That would have been a huge pop. So that is kind of interesting that they didn't do that there, only to shortly end Miro's reign right after that, but with Sammy Guevara. Interesting. Why wasn't it Eddie Kingston? Now there's a mystery. All right. We got a comment from Aldo Steven Montañez, who says, Denise, before you end this, please say chinga tu madre again. Well, I guess I just did. All right. And this one is from Cameron Mumford, who says, the Easter eggs have been laid out. Darby alluding to MJF winning no championship. Sammy winning the TNT championship. Buckle up, guys. This feud is definitely coming, and it's gonna be good. Chaotic Fantasy says, I know it probably wasn't going to happen, but I would have loved to see Malachi be the one to dethrone Miro in a devil versus God kind of storyline. They could have easily done that, and a lot of people did make that correlation right away when you had, Malachi Black talking about the devil and then Miro talking about God on the exact same show, like within minutes apart. It was very easy to make that correlation. So there was something there too. Definitely something there too. Tabby says, I like that the TNT title switches hands more frequently than the other championships. It gives us title changes while keeping the other belts on champions for a good amount of time. Sheldon Jackson says, I hope Miro goes through that forbidden door and gets some new gold. Oh, really good stuff here, guys. Really good stuff. I really appreciate everybody here taking part in the chat. So there you guys go. That was the show here today. A pretty exciting episode of AEW Dynamite. And then next week, we're going to have the anniversary show. So that's going to be very fun. Tomorrow, guys, fun fact, I will be celebrating an anniversary of my own tomorrow. And I might as well mention this now because I don't have a show tomorrow. But tomorrow is my 1 year anniversary with the Wrestling Observer with F4W Online. 1 year, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, September 30th, 2020 was my first time appearing here on my show. So that's very yay. I'll celebrate that tomorrow, but I do want to let you guys all know. Thank you so much for your support each and every single week. You guys rock, man. Please, just like, I'll see you Friday, and then I'll see you Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.